Entering the second round, it is still a 2 versus 3 because of a disconnect. Very unfortunate situation. Now we are seeing the heals come out as the players push forward, trying to get aggressive here, and it looks like there's a 2v2 being called from the sideline, and that is going to be all down to these as Heartbreaker moves into just a spectating role, able to commentate this as it goes, and that's a 2 versus 1 over here, going on to Underflip, low HP, but he's able to pick up one. Icon falls, and it's all on to Evac here. Last player standing, 2v1. They have him stuck in this position. Great hits coming out, but the HP dropping not too much yet. There we go, hitting just about half, and that is going to be it. 2 versus 2 comes out, and it will go the way of the blue team. 2 rounds in a row here. The first being a 3 versus 2, the second a 2 versus 2, but what will it come down to in this potentially third and final round, or will we see that comeback start? That is what we're about to find out. 2 seconds remain. The wall will drop, and we will get this battle underway. What's up, guys? I don't want to take too much time away. There's much more commentary to be seen, but just wanted to say, hey, thanks for checking this out. If you enjoy this content, if you think this is cool, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get back to the action. Players running in that initial engagement. Both players spitting those fireballs across the map. There is a separation here between S23 and Underflip. Underflip getting behind that pillar means that if they attack him there, he won't get any support, but it looks like Evac is also going to be AFK, and that is not what you want to see in this situation. Comes out of the 2v2, but it doesn't matter. He gives up. No hope there, and that will be a clean 3-0 coming from the blue team. After a grueling first round, it is going to be the blue team up 1-0. We're going to see 2 kills coming for TZ, 1 for Heartbreaker, and 57,000 in healing compared to 37,000 for the blue team. And now with the second round getting underway, we're going to see who comes up first with that engagement. Wrong weapon out, it looks like, as he will throw. We're going to see that Sacred Ground coming in there onto Kaba here, trying to keep him alive, trying to get him that stamina so we can make something happen. There's going to be a healer on both teams, so it is going to be one of those long drawn out fights. Most likely we're going to see those abilities coming out, but it's not really able to do too much. And you can see they're trying to get this focus in on the healer. I am going to have him stuck there with that ability coming out from the Void Gauntlet, and now we're going to see a lot of damage being done, but Kaba getting very low. You're going to see the heals coming out, trying to keep him alive and well, and it's working out decently well so far, but it looks like now that focus is coming from the other side. They're trying to take the healer for the side of the blue team. That's going to be Heartbreaker down, and unable to do so. Just a little bit of damage there, and trying to get out of dodge, and it is going to be successful as they seem to continue to shift that focus over towards the tankier character. Not what you want to see really in this position. We're going to see that beacon get attached to him as well, so he just got so much more difficult to kill, and now it seems everybody up on this platform, and Kaba getting a little bit low. Some more heals coming in, and at this point everything's on cooldown, not gonna be able to do too much. We're going to see that he comes in, puts down some abilities from that Void Gauntlet, trying to be able to help his team out with some buffs and debuffs coming through, and now that Sacred Ground just on the outskirts there. A lot of damage being done, but none to the right players, it seems. Nothing really changing in this fight, as we do see the flamethrower coming out, and a big focus there onto Heartbreaker, onto the healer. He's finally going to try to shut that down. Turns around, tries to stick him. Going to be successful. Will be able to get out of dodge. Trying to move away, and you can see that there's a huge focus coming out when it comes to taking down Heartbreaker from the fire staff, and he's not giving up yet. He's still in there trying to get it done, and that is the nuisance, but it's gonna be the first kill going to Kaba here, and you can see it's just continuing. He will not put that fire staff down, trying to take him out, and now we are going to see that that damage could be it right there. The flames coming through. Slay GG ends up taking a Heartbreaker, and it comes down to just Kaba and TZ. Last 2 players remaining for both sides. Actually, it's just down to Bayonetta. They did manage to take out Slay as well. So 2 versus 1. The Ring of Fire is coming in. We're gonna be able to see if they'll be able to clean this one up, or if we will get a tie game here 1-1. It looks like they pin him over towards that pillar. He's trying to make a stand, not finding too much success thus far. We're gonna see the ranged coming in, while Kaba, a very tanky player, playing up close and personal, and that HP is dropping, and so will Bayonetta. Does fall, and that will be a 2-0 start here for the blue team. Coming into round 3, it is a 2-0 advantage for the blue team, doing a great job of just trying to stay alive. You can see he's coming in early this time, definitely not trying to allow anything to happen, and he's dodging, getting out, but there's going to be a stun there. Extra damage coming through as well, but can he get a heal over there to Kaba? Is going to be able to do so. A lot of attention being done here onto Bayonetta, but he will survive. He will escape with his life, and that was not enough for Kaba to be able to do anything on the other side. So now the heals are coming through, and there it goes. There's that flamethrower we've been seeing in each and every round, just trying to take him down, and he's just so focused on it. trying to make sure the Harbinger can't do anything, and he's going to hit him with that stun and just try to escape this situation. And now that they've ignited the barrel, what they want to do is try to keep the enemies away from it, because if they are able to hit it, they will damage it, and at a certain point, that damage will accumulate enough to reset the situation. And we're going to see some really low HP coming in on the tank. He does get that shield back up, and the heals are there on him, but this is a bit chaotic at this time. We're going to see the attempt at cracking a pot there, trying to get that health back up for Heartbreaker as he swings around, trying to dodge some things and try to get some heals back down for the tank and the DPS. At least they have managed to recover this round. It shouldn't have been too many hits coming in on that barrel, but as we can see, they take him down, and now immediately there's another wave. So this is one of those situations where the waves just keep coming. Should be 3 or 4 waves, and you just have to survive without letting them hit that barrel. And of course, when they get caught behind there like that, they're going to be hitting it if they're trying to swing past it at you. So you want to move them away. We're going to see those heals coming down, trying to keep them up. Some big DPS coming through, so some are falling relatively quickly, but they're definitely going to need a little bit more. We're going to see Harbinger trying to chime in and help that right now, but you got 2 of them very close to that barrel, and that means they are most likely not going to be able to make this. If they are not able to take them down, we will see a reset, and that will take away from the great time that they've been having so far. It's going to mean that they're going to need to speed it up at a later time. And that final wave coming in, this should be the last one. They try to put up the wall there at the last second, unable to do so, and now a lot have made it through, and that's going to be a reset. The barrel does get damaged enough, and that is going to slow this run down as we hit 21 minutes and 13 seconds. We'll have to start the waves over from the top. Trying to finish up this first wave. It's going to be done successfully. Very minor damage being done, if at all, towards that barrel, but second wave coming in, and we've already seen 2 make it through this area. He's trying to body block here to stop anything from happening, but the rest of his team not really joining in on that block, and so we can already see that musket behind the barrel, and that's going to be damage coming through. Trying to swap over and lay down some extra DPS, try to get through this a little bit faster since this is not the first attempt. They did wipe on their first one, and what they're gonna be looking to do here is to clear the docks now. That way, once they can start the barrel and the waves start pouring in, they won't have to deal with these guys as well. So as they bring it down to these final 2, there will probably be somebody who near the end of this fight goes ahead and moves over towards the barrel. They want to make sure to get that player a bit further down the docks as well. That's going to be somebody that you don't want to be left standing around when the rest come in. Don't want to add any more to what you're already going to have. And these final 2 standing, a lot of damage coming out here now. They can really focus it in. Nobody has to go off and take out anyone else. So we'll take them down pretty soon. This is going to be one of the tankier mobs here in this area. And now, of course, they can hit that barrel. You'll see Jude take it over now, and this means more waves coming out. They're going to want to stop them from hitting that barrel. A barrel destruction will end up causing a reset, and you'll have to do all the waves over again. So as you can see, they're swarming the barrel. They're trying to stop it. They need to move them away from it. Any sort of AoE attack, any sort of miss there on a player will be able to hit those barrels, and that is not what you want in this situation. And they're going to want to be able to grab that aggro much earlier than they did this time. You're going to see Bloodhound down there, low HP, trying to keep these players up. It's going to be Heartbreaker. Nobody dropped yet, but Diesel very, very low. They need to get into those healing circles. This is AoE only. He's going to throw down another one just to the side where he sees those players and those mobs fighting. Try to chime with some damage of his own as well, and they probably have taken some damage, so they're going to need to tighten it up in these next rounds, these next waves. Going there, we're going to see those heals coming down right away, and this is going to be a tough one because you don't want to draw these guys off with that aggro coming in from your heals, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you can get them in there in time, because that is a lot of damage coming in very quickly and early from these mobs. In particular, that dragon coming out does a lot of AoE damage. Anybody close by, and you're going to see Harbinger trying to dodge out of the way of that nature damage, that poison circle coming around, able to do it just barely. Lost line of sight there onto Telem as well, and this is the downside to his style of healing. He does go for more of the action combat, not so much tap targeting, and a lot of these situations, a lot of these fights, and that is going to lead to those awkward situations. That is a big dragon circle coming out, able to take him down. All right, we're gonna be going into the first boss fight of this dungeon. It looks like the plan here is for Telu, the tank, to be able to take 2 of these at once. So he's gonna take the big guy and one of the maidens all on his lonesome. That is gonna be a missed heal, and that could be what ends up being the death of this attempt at this boss fight. But it looks like with that beacon, he will be able to keep him up. Now, though, needs to turn his attention over to the other players, but it's going to be Jude who's getting very low at this point, so he's going to throw down a heal if he can stay in there. He needs to get that beacon over onto Tello as well, though, and turn that focus back. Try to get that orb of protection, and they need to get out of the way of this, though. Cannot take all that damage, and so far it's working out decently. Going to throw that back down once again, trying to turn that focus. Has lost sight of his tank, however. Can't get around to him. Trying to get there now, but he's slowed. Will finally get that in there. Lands it right on top of him, and they're doing great damage over here on Maiden Landfin. Right back to it. Throw down another Sacred Round, turning in, and now things are certainly looking to be in decent fashion as they head down to just 2 mobs. You're going to see Maiden Dayu there, turning attention towards that tank. Great dodge coming out of Telumaju. This is going to allow some big things to happen. Going to need a little bit of a self-heal there as they're moving around. He is leading him right here towards that healer, which means Heartbreaker needs to get out of the way very shortly, and that's exactly what's happening. He's actually managed to draw a little attention. Will get that heal down. It's a little too late, though. Somebody does fall, and now the Maiden is on Heartbreaker, and he's low HP here. He needs to get in that healing circle himself, and they're going to get right up into that. It's going to be Heartbreaker who goes down and will have to respawn. Back into the action. May have missed that Sacred Ground just a little bit. It looks like the heals are coming through regardless. That Frenzy, though, ticking away. He does have a nice heal down there on the tank, and it looks like this should be clean at this point. We'll be able to take down that second Maiden. Only that one death there coming in for Heartbreaker. Now they can turn all the attention over to Commander Chin. He is somebody who is dangerous if you are hit by one of these big attacks. And you can see now Heartbreaker having to worry about grabbing that loot. Very important to him to be able to get that early on before this is over. Another Sacred Ground that's just a little off. Not the best placement. He is getting chased by that circle, so he's going to throw that in there, maybe dodge around, and then take just the remnants of that Sacred Ground he had put in earlier. Now is a great time to get in, try to deal a little bit more damage to help out, but that Nature Circle coming in as well. All players, though, sitting at pretty comfortable HP except for Heartbreaker, so he's going to go ahead and use that beacon on himself, throw down a Sacred there to keep those heals flowing. Commander Chin with some big moves, but well done here by Telumaju on that tanking, but just more and more damage coming out of these. And this is crazy because Heartbreaker actually does have 5 gems in to lessen the nature damage, and it just doesn't seem to be enough. I mean, you really can't get touched by these things or you are going to be dropping. It could be in conjunction with the Frenzy dealing some damage as well, and having double dots on you is going to be a quick way to end up with almost no HP very quickly. If you enjoyed that video, if you like the commentary, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and maybe share it with a friend. It wasn't my best performance. Of course, I'm actively playing the game at the same time, so I'm worried about dodging things, cooldowns, stuff like that, but it was fun to do. I thought I would share it. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, good luck in your adventures.